Good afternoon / evening, Sharpies, and welcome to Steel, Sharp, and Steel. I'm Tom Cunningham.
I am Joyce Stevens, and I am happy to be here, y'all. I almost didn't make it. Ooh, it was close. It was very close.
Yeah, I was texting Joy just to make sure. I was preparing myself to do a solo show, and then literally as the trailer is counting down, here she pops in. So happy to have you here, Joy.
And I shouldn't be the only one. Actually, we have a guest coming. She just texted me
Whoop,
too, like,
whoop.
"Hey, y'all still doing the guessing?" I was like, "Yes." I'm glad I left where I was at. I'm gonna filibuster for a second so I can let her know. Sent the link on Facebook. So this is how easy it is for y'all to get to us. You just be like, "Hey, I want to be on the show," and we'll make the show, send you a link on your Facebook Live or whatever, and boom, you're good to go. So the reason I was supposed to be late was because I was supposed to be doing another Juneteenf thing for a different entity. They canceled, so I was like, "Okay, cool." But every fourth Thursday or every certain number of Thursdays of the month, we have our HOA meeting in my new place where I moved to. So I was like, well, since Tom is going to be working with CJ, I can move in a little late and go to this meeting. I get in there and I'm like a couple minutes late. It started at 7. I left clearly. And everything is going like one person asked a question. They're like, yeah, we're in the middle of resolving that. Another person was like, how long is this going to go on? And they were like, well, we're going to leave this vote open until we get enough votes, regular stuff. And then this woman says she raises her hand the same time as this dude raises his hand, and she was like, "Oh, you can go ahead." And he's like, "Oh, no, go ahead." And she goes, "Well, what I have to say is going to take at least 15 minutes." And I was like, "God,
Oh, Jesus.
I know this type. And so he asked his little question, and he's like, "Okay, great." I don't remember what it was. And then she says, so she starts off with, now, the last person that was in your job, talking to like our property manager in your job, and something, because nothing's been done and none of this works. And the lady's like, actually, ma'am, that was resolved. It was resolved last month. Well, when I went in your office and I'm not getting my mail, and ma'am, this meeting is for community issues, for the community. Well, I am in the community. I called Raphael Warnock myself, and okay. Okay. And did he come? No, he did not. You know why? Because don't nobody give a damn about your little lady. Oh, she talked. And so now me clowning in the back of the room, like the class clown I am, she talked for like without taking a breath. And you already know it's like a little old lady. And she got her little like, I marched with Martin Luther King look on her face, like, and now you and every other word was, I talked to you. Now, our property manager has been here less than I have, right? She's brand new. The lady that was here before dropped some balls on the way out the door. And so she's catching all of this stuff from everybody. I talked to Nicole and she said, Nicole ain't been here since April 1st. April Fool. And so it went on until finally I raised my hand. I have a question. I just wanted to raise my hand to interrupt the tirade.
Right.
And then this dude up front, I guess he was trying to like let her get it all out. He's like, she got one more question. She said she had 3. Bruh, I'm trying to save us. Why would you do that?
So you look like you were about to prep.
Right? I'm trying to do the little monkey. What? Why? And so she continues on in another tirade. Now I just got up. I was like, I will figure out my question on my own. And I walked out and said, y'all have fun with this. And I left. I was like, I'm absolutely not doing this. Because I had a person like that in my last place. And it was very triggering for me to see that there's a little old lady with a bad wig in every building. Every building. And
you're moving from the set of one Tyler Perry movie to another.
I moved from Why Did I Get Married to A Diary of a Mad Black Woman, or vice versa. Either way, it's bad wigs everywhere.
And you passed A Fall from Grace and Straw.
Yo, I haven't seen Straw yet. I heard that she was good, but the movie was not.
I mean, Taraji P. Henson, well, I was about to say the twice Oscar-nominated actress still managed to turn in a performance in acrimony, which was one of my jokes. I was talking to some professional industry friends, and I said, in my heart, I think that the character in Straw is the baby cousin to the character in Acrimony. And she jumped off the ship and swam into this new film because
Hilarious.
I respect the hustle, and we won't get into his current raft of challenges, but I respect a person who understands his audience and knows that he can produce content that his audience will embrace. It's
Right.
not
And
so
he
differentiated from
stays
the
in his lane.
Kardashians.
Yeah,
He
he
gets
stays
it.
in his lane. Now his lane is full of potholes and plot holes, but he stays in his lane.
And he will deliver you something that your eyes can watch on a screen. That is a guarantee.
You know,
Visual data will hit your optic nerves and be interpreted as images, and words will come out of the speaker and hit your auditory nerve, and all of that
funny
together.
you say that because there's a like a Korean saying something along the lines of, "Now that I've seen this, I need to buy new eyes."
All of that, all of it. While we are kind of it looks like we have thank you for folks who are enjoying the show. Hello, and hey, okay. So we're waiting on you, I think. Okay. So
no, that's Mary J. CJ, Cecily.
Oh, right.
We I don't use her government name, but I call myself texting her back.
Here she is.
Look,
here she is.
Look, there she is. And I'd actually texted you.
There we go. Hello, CJ.
I'm sorry. I had to get myself together here.
You look great.
No, it's fine. We love that you are here. Thank you so much. I was just about to talk about a film that I saw this week because I'm trying to make this a celebration episode. We have so many things going on in this country. And so I bumped into a couple of different clips that I have loaded to watch a little bit later. There is some language. This is not necessarily an After Dark show, but there is some language that comes in to some of these clips. But they were kind of expressions of Black joy that I really enjoyed. And so I wanted to do and say that. However, there is a film. I was able to see it as a part of AMC's Sight Unseen program, where they have a movie that's about to come out and they only charge you $8 and you can go see it because you don't know what it is. They just tell you what the rating is, and then you can buy a ticket and see it. And so I've seen 2 movies in that program. The first one starred the actor who played in the latest Star Trek series with the ship that her character name is Michael. I always forget her real name. But is it Discovery? Star Trek Discovery, or just whatever.
Green.
There you go. So the first movie I saw starred Sonequa Green, and it's kind of like a war veteran movie. She is the granddaughter, I think granddaughter, perhaps daughter of Ed Harris and his my friend Zoe. I think my dead friend Zoe is what it's called. So it was a very good movie. I wasn't expecting it, but it was a very good movie. And this movie that I just saw, again, sight unseen, don't know what it's going to be. It was R-rated, and I said, "Oh, please be Megan 2.0." Please, it was not Megan 2.0. But it was a movie called 40 Acres. And Danielle Deadweiler is in it. It was actually completed in 2024. I don't know why it was not actually released, but it is. It's about to be released officially on July 2nd. And AMC is actually bundling Sinners and 40 Acres because it is
June.
2 stories that kind of celebrate Black experiences. And this movie, 40 Acres, is set in the near future. It's an apocalyptic film. Basically, the setup is that a fungus has killed like 98% of the animals on the planet, which obviously decreases the food supply. No zombies, but everybody wants and needs food. And so farmland is the biggest prized possession.
Right.
And so you have marauding groups of people who are stalking around trying to take over resources. And obviously everybody who's stalking around is not a farmer. So they turn to other food supplies when there are no animals. Dun,
So
dun,
they
dun,
eat each
dun.
other.
Anyway, Danielle's character is a person. Her last name is Freeman. Put a pin in that. And her ancestors fled enslavement and went up to this other country, which is Canada. They don't say it. You kind of think it's America, but ultimately you hear it's Canada. And her family has owned this farm since then. And so it's a point of pride to her that she is maintaining the farm. She went off to war. She came back. She is married to now a First Nations man who plays, I think he's the guy that plays the younger brother of Pedro Pascal's character on The Last of Us, I think. But Oglala, he's from the Oglala tribe. He brought a daughter into the relationship, and now they have, I think, 2 other daughters, and they're all working together, utilizing her military training to, maintain this farm. So I won't get into it because I want you to see it, but it was very enjoyable. And just the fact that, like Coogler, the writers of this movie wove in the whole premise of Black excellence in terms of maintaining the farm and
knowing how to farm
for generations and being able to protect what is theirs. And she makes a point of saying that, my family has had this farm for hundreds of years and I'm not about to let it go, that sort of thing. And also just the history of how people moved and migrated and changed and changed their circumstances. It's just very, very well done in, kind of an apocalyptic genre film. You can tell there wasn't a big budget because everything kind of takes place like in this farmland. So you didn't have to spend a bajillion dollars on sets. There wasn't a whole lot of money on like special effects. There aren't any explosions and all that sort of thing. But they did a very good job with a very well done cast. And it does kind of relate to how there's interracial relationships of all types. There's one of her best friends in the movie, actually. Well, I won't get into it, but it shows the complex blend of how relationships work, especially how relationships work when everything kind of goes to hell. And one of the things that I really liked about it is that after the title cards, because in a concept movie like this, you kind of have to set it up. And so they say 15 years ago, and the first shot is of these kind of raggedy looking, redneck looking guys stomping through fields. And I'm like, oh, see, I don't know how long I'm gonna be here. I am not trying to look at the Confederates kill each other. I just don't even need to see it. But then I saw Danielle Deadwyler on screen. I said, oh, all right, I'm in. Come on, let's go. I have never seen her in a movie that I did not enjoy.
Well, there you have it.
And so even that horrible Netflix movie with the planes and all that stuff, and Jason Bateman and yet it's horrible. It's not even worth. But she plays a detective in that movie, and I still enjoyed her even though the movie was crap. And then Devil to Pay is the first movie I saw her in, and that's another kind of set in the woods in Appalachia. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Danielle, you are an amazing talent. And so I heartily encourage you you can probably stream Devil to Pay because that's a little bit older, but go rush out and see 40 Acres. It will absolutely give you life.
Okay. Putting that on the list.
On the list. Yeah.
So it's funny because I saw Straw today. So listen. Look, none of my coworkers are probably on. So I did not have Juneteenth off. It's not a holiday for us, and I did not put it in for PTO because life has been life and I needed my other PTO. But I sure did do some kind of other work that I could do. and watch Straw. So, or, kind of watch in the corner, listen. So I'm doing, and I'm like, okay. And Taraji was good. Taraji was Taraji, because she always brings it.
Mm-hmm.
She always brings it. I even liked Sherry Shepherd. I actually did like her in this, and because I don't know, maybe it was the empathy that she played that empathetic character really well. So I'm watching and I'm going through. I don't want to give any spoilers for anybody who hasn't seen it. And then we get near the end, and I'm like, oh my damn. And then I had to remember my office door was open, and I had to catch myself.
Oh,
no, that's all. Because since Joy said she hadn't seen it, I'm just going to say okay. Because in my feed, I had seen these clips where folks were showing like this white family who was watching it, and the older white woman said, "I hate Tyler Perry." I was like, "What's the deal?" Okay, I see why the old lady was mad at Tyler now. I get it.
Wow.
So Joy, go watch it.
Now I want to watch it.
Yeah, go watch it. It was.
If this is off that demographic, I want to see what happened.
And you know what else I was happy to see, and I had seen him post about it. I was happy to see Sinbad. I was happy to see Sinbad. Come on, he's been through a lot. He's been through.
Okay, so let me just say, when I first moved out to California,
okay, hit me.
Yeah. I am a tall, light-skinned dude who had an afro and had hoop earrings.
I'm sorry.
And
I'm just gonna apologize now. I'm sorry.
No. It's fine. I was actually at Jerry's Deli, and there was a table of Latinas who was sitting adjacent to us. Mm-hmm. And I was with like 2 or 3 friends, whatever. And I stood up, and they're like, "Oh, Sinbad, can we take a picture with you?" And I was like, I do get that a lot, but I'm actually not Sinbad. It's okay, Sinbad. We know it's you. And I'm so to see Sinbad in that wheelchair.
Okay.
I mean, I love that he got a check, and Tyler is very good for helping out a brother or sister who needs a check. Mm-hmm. It did not make me happy to see him like that. I know his brother lightly, because he's one of my fraternity brothers, but it just didn't feel like a way to use his talent.
Sinbad is in a wheelchair for real? In real life, or in this movie?
He had a massive
in real life.
And he's years ago.
I did not catch that.
He couldn't speak. So he's actually, and he has a speaking part in this show. And so I guess that's what I'm thinking of. I'm looking at it as someone who, this man he could have died. He was right. And he's speaking. Yeah, it's not the Sinbad on the stage with his antics,
right?
Because he was antics using all of his limbs and things like that. But he is acting, and I guess that's where I was looking at it from. So
I want to apologize. I didn't realize that he had been sick and gone through a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
When I made that poor taste joke about it was the old Facebook thing that went around like every couple of years saying that he'd have to come back out and say, "I am not dead." So that's what I was referencing, but I did not know he'd had strokes and everything else. So I apologize to him and his family.
And I apologize, Tom. I didn't mean to bring back
no. Honestly, it was that wasn't it. I just felt that I understand that he could probably use the financial support, and I understand that he would probably like to be plying his craft again. I appreciate that. And I appreciate that it would take somebody like Tyler Perry, because it's not going to be a whole bunch of other people,
right?
Who would do
Kevin
that.
Feige is not calling him.
Kevin Feige is not calling. So I was happy that was able to happen for him, but it did drive home the depth of the challenges he's facing.
Right.
And the other side of me, the producer side of me, is thinking, how many days did he have to roll on to set to do that piece of work? And on balance, was that, you know, a positive experience for him. I'm sure he enjoys, you know, the articles and things that are being written about him, but it's just like old boy who was on the Cosby Show as
Elvin. I can't think of
Elvin.
his name.
Yeah, the one
And
that
I
was
was
bagging
mentioning,
groceries,
yeah,
he
I
was
was
bagging
mentioning
groceries.
him recently.
Right.
Yeah.
And his situation is different because he didn't have the significant health challenges, but you know, it's LA, and he's a slightly overweight, short black actor with a wicked hairline. It's not going to be a bunch of roles for you, but once that article came out and he was like, look, I got bills to pay. I'm just, Trader Joe's is a nice, Jeffrey Owens. Thank you, Anthony. You know, this is a great place to work, and I'm working to live. And then he's gotten these roles. Some of them were like recurring roles on some TV shows, and you know, he played this, that, and the third, and that's great. So I love it for him, but I'm of mixed feelings about it. But by all means, in a day where we are celebrating Black art, Black artists, and specifically people who are as legendary as Sinbad. Sinbad is so legendary that he starred in a movie that doesn't exist. And
right. He is another Mandela
of Black people
we swear Shazam is a real movie,
which doesn't exist.
I feel like it did. I remember him with Genie on the front. Like, I feel like it did. They lying.
Right.
They lying.
Except that you didn't. And it's super easy because Shaq did have a horrible Genie movie.
Shaq don't look like Sinbad.
He does not. But this is what I love about Sinbad. Sinbad trolled so much on that he actually made a trailer years later to either further confuse people. So I love that about him. So
I may have seen that trailer and it just imprinted like that was a movie.
Right.
Like it was a real movie. See, so I was, now that I think about it, well, no, that probably was your freshman year, Joy, when he did did his special at Morehouse.
Yeah. I remember. Yes.
Yeah. So, look, I was in the audience. Unfortunately, they didn't get my side view. I was hoping had the face beat. I was ready. And
you better be TV ready, CJ.
Those are some good times, though, man. Sinbad is funny cat. Yeah.
No, he's very and played clean, which also is exceedingly rare. And you know, from his time on A Different World, there was a lot about Sinbad as a performer that seemed and felt ideally suited for that period of time that he was in. Like, you know, segueing out of the Cosby dominance and, you know, doors opening and Def Comedy Jam and all the sorts of things that were going on. So many Black comedians getting shows and all of that. Mr. Cooper and the Steve Harvey Show and all these different things that were happening. Yeah, Martin. And so it was a really cool wave for him to ride. And he was one of the only light-skinned brothers who was doing it like that. And tall as hell.
True.
And making movies and, you know, so I really respect him. I wish him all the best in his continued recovery. And, you know, bro, more roles will be coming. And I can't wait to see you out of that wheelchair and being more like the Sinbad that we all knew. So on the issue of some other Black excellence, I don't know if y'all have seen this. I'm gonna put it up on camera.
All right, so you've heard of Jenga, right? And then you've also heard of Uno. Well, look at this shit here. Like, we thought Uno ended. All right, so you've heard.
So there is a lot of language. This is a real. Do you want me to bring it back up?
Yeah, did it go on? Does it get worse?
It does go on. There was just a lot of language in there. So, but I'll let it go. Here you go.
All right, so you've heard of Jenga, right? And then you've also heard of Uno. Well, look at this shit here. Like, we thought Uno ended friendships before, nigga. Nah, this the fuck around and get a nigga house blew up. I ain't gonna lie to you. So the rules are Jenga and Uno combined. Once you pull, the person who goes next has to pull one from the same color or with the same number. Draw two means you have to pull twice.
Play this. I want to play this. That looks great.
Absolutely.
Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and, you know.
This is giving black on black crime. I just
let's all go to jail. You know, it's a Thursday.
So literally,
I want to go to work tomorrow.
That is combined Uno, which has the Show 'em No Mercy deck. I don't know if y'all have played with the Show 'em No Mercy deck.
I've seen that. The draw tens.
Oh, they have an expansion pack. They might as well call it funeral prep or divorce prep, because they have some cards in this expansion deck that will end family reunions.
Wow.
There is a card and it's shaped like a meteor. And if you play that card, the next person in line has to look at your cards, and for every action card you have, they like have to draw 4 or whatever. And then everybody else look up Uno Show 'em No Mercy expansion pack. There is a commercial for it, and I am telling you right now, people will need to bring bulletproof vests to cookouts, because when these two things hit tables, it ain't gonna be nothing nice. But this is what I was spending my Juneteenth looking at, because it's like, these are things. This is not cookout. You don't pull this out at a cookout. You pull this out at a wake.
Right. Right.
Because somebody gonna end up on the floor.
Just play this in front of the hospital.
In front of the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
So you can just get a stretcher, get a wheelchair ready, because clearly
you see somebody going down there like you know, they be sitting on top of them doing the compressions. What happened? He draw 11. You know, this is like he got double reverse. I'm losing him.
So while we're talking about things that are inherently Black in their scope and reach, I have another little, this is kind of a news report about something that brought me joy on this Juneteenth celebration about ownership and engagement. It kind of speaks to what we were talking about as far as Black farming, but also Black entrepreneurship. Let's take a look.
Very few things in the country are exclusively American made, but one Black-owned sports brand is showing what's possible. Actively Black is a sports apparel company founded by former NBA player Lanny Smith. He just partnered with a Black-owned and operated cotton farm, Bridgeforth Farms, for a new collection. It honors the fact that the industry was built through the blood, sweat, and tears of Black workers, but only a handful of Black-owned cotton farms remain. So I spoke to Lanny and Troy Bridgeforth about building a Black-owned supply chain.
I think there's so much power in that story beyond just being made in America, beyond the tariff story. There's also this story of reclamation for what that means, you know, of a Black-owned supply chain from the seed to the stitch, from the dirt to the shirt, as I like to say.
We were approached with the opportunity to make this special Juneteenth collaboration. It meant a lot to us, and we certainly jumped at the opportunity. And it's exactly like we said, it's an opportunity for us to expand the Bridgeforth brand to more consumers, but it certainly is an inspirational story where we were able to show that we can control the supply chain all the way from the seed to the shirt.
And this extends beyond Juneteenth. You know, this is just the first of a line that we hope to carry moving forward, where we're able to show, you know, Black ownership throughout the supply chain. Now, everybody is welcome to wear the product. We don't discriminate on who wears the product. But ownership has been something that's very important to me, to the brand Actively Black, and to our audience. So that's what we're trying to show, is this unity amongst ourselves.
And the team behind Actively Black also says proceeds are put towards educational programs that support HBCU athletics and diversity advocacy. Lanny Smith and Bridgeforth family, I see you.
So I just dropped a link to the collection in the chat. So I heartily encourage you to check it out. I'm going to order my shirt today to make a statement about Juneteenth. But that story really jumped out at me. What do you think, CJ, about more opportunity for Black folks in more areas of consumer products?
Take all my coin. Just take all my coin. You know, actually, I'm really excited about that. I have followed Actively Black for a while. I'll be honest, I don't own as much of their product as I have some friends who I swear every time they drop something new, they get it.
Yep.
And I move a little bit too slow, so a lot of times the sizes for us thickums aren't there. Because I tend to move too slow. But I love when he said, and I saw your all's faces too, when he said from the dirt to the shirt, I was like, yes. I mean, it's really, we've always said we have to support our own. We've always said we need to really do our community needs to do for us like other communities will do within their community. But I think right now it's really hitting home. It's really hitting home for us. And it might be the reason it's hitting home for us is because while our parents knew this, we were afforded some opportunities due to integration that it didn't stick with us as much. But we're seeing those opportunities being rolled back now. And we're like, okay, we have to invest and reinvest in ourselves. So I'm really happy about this. I remember seeing a thing, it might have been the end of last year, first of this year, the Actively Black was inviting people to invest in their company. And there was, of course, there were the others who were commenting on this investment opportunity and the fact that they weren't welcome to this investment opportunity. And of course, like Lanny said, it wasn't that the name of the company is Actively Black, and he's trying to keep it totally actively Black. I'm like, you all got everything else backed up off, and because we know what would happen once you all got a foot in the door, you'll start redecorating shit. I don't want you redecorating shit. And I'm not trying to be anti-white. I can't be anti-white and be a Jackson. I'm just putting that out there because my family know. But what I'm saying is you got to respect what I do in my house. And what Lanny's doing in his house is having a Black-owned business that anybody can buy from, because I've seen Black and white influencers wearing his product. Let us have it. And I hope it inspires more people to do it right, because follow his business model.
Right.
His business model is on point. You can't tell me it's not, because he's still succeeding. I'm tired of folks popping up something without a true plan and then it failing. No, follow his business model. Study his business model and do the same thing, and you'll get support like he's getting support. And I'm with you, Tom. I'm sitting here right now on the side. And the funny thing is, I got the text. I was too busy watching Straw. I'm going
I would say I've got a decent amount, not a capsule collection or anything like that, but I got a couple of items from Actively Black. But my favorite thing is right over here, and I'm gonna grab it real quick. Hang on.
Okay.
All right. I will just say I put in a message. I put in a message. Oh, she's back. All right. I didn't know how long.
I got it. This is from Actively Black. They don't have this anymore because Black women had something to say about it, but it's the bag that says Black women are superheroes. I
love that bag. Loved that.
Why did Black women have something to say about it?
Not all of them, just the ones that was mad about it, because they were like that fed into the idea that Black women are super strong and they can't take a break and they got to save everybody. And I was like, he didn't say what kind of superhero. I could be Black Adam. I could be Deadpool. Try me, right? Put a unicorn up your ass. Anyway, This is my biggest purchase from them. And I remember when they had the thing going around saying, if you want to invest, be a part of the Actively Black family, and like the minimum investment, I was like, I ain't got it, because at the time, got my own business, money was a little funny. I was like, I couldn't be fiscally responsible and meet even their minimum. And I was like, dang. And now I'm like, I wish, because like even their commercials are the blackest commercials you ever seen in your life.
Oh my God, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I really wanted to invest. And I was like you, I was in a situation at the time where, you know, it was so funny. I almost pulled the trigger. And I'm a firm believer that things happen for a reason. And I swear that 24 hours later, I had an emergency situation where I'm like, oh, I'm glad I didn't pull the trigger. I'm like, God knew. But I'm going to invest. I'm going to support them any way I can, as I'm sitting here right now, trying to figure out how to get my Harvest One.
Harvest One. I love it.
That's what it is.
And so just so you all know, if you spend a certain amount, they'll give you free socks and free shipping. Yeah, CJ, you really telling on yourself. You better, Bob has it right. Man, you better be working extra hard tomorrow, because
listen, hold on. And it's so funny. I got a funny to tell y'all. So tomorrow is payday for us. But I work for a small nonprofit, well, a decent sized nonprofit. And it was so funny because for some folks that bank at credit unions, and I bank with USAA, thanks to my dad, we normally get our checks early. So we normally get them on like Wednesday night. And I was like, I got up this morning. I'm like, where's my check? I ain't got no check. I was like, so I went to work, and I work in the finance department, and our director of accounting, he was panicked that something didn't go through. We were like, it's a holiday. Nothing's going through today. And I split my check between that and another larger institution. And I was like, that portion, which normally comes on Friday, came today. I said, I said, it's the holiday. So, but that's okay, because that other bank did get that money. And so I'm going to use that card to get my Actively Black here. Should I get black or cream, y'all? A bone, excuse me, bone.
So what I got for I bought a shirt. And I bought the shirt that had like most of the information on it, because there's like from the seed to the dean, the dirt to the shirt. So on the back, that's like their first shirt. And so I got the cream shirt, but then because I'm one of those stupid people who's like, spend only $90 more and get free shipping, I was like, oh well, gosh,
only $90.
Yeah, the $10 of shipping costs is definitely worth me spending another $90. So then I got the black pants. So I kind of have like a two-tone kind of thing going with the combo. And then I got free
socks. I was going to get the shorts. So I'm sitting here.
Yeah, I was looking at the shorts, but the shorts weren't going to be enough to get me over the threshold. And so I said, I ain't buying 3 things a day. But like I said, I put a statement from their website on here that they pay above market rates for the cotton because they want to be able to provide real support for livable wages and retain Black ownership of the land. The entire point of a Black-owned supply chain is to generate wealth that circulates in the Black community. Our prices reflect the cost to produce premium quality, 100% organic apparel in America, and our mission to support Black farmers in a meaningful way. Ladies and gentlemen, be prepared. Y'all have been talking about tariffs, and that one is talking about made in America and all this other sort of stuff. That's why your t-shirt costs $60. Because it did not come from a factory in Cambodia.
Made by a 2-year-old.
Exactly. And so I'm happy to do it because
I'll do you one better. You know who doesn't need my money? Louis Vuitton. They don't need my money. You know who else don't? Cartier or any of Gucci, Tiffany, none of them don't need my money. I would rather get $60 shorts and a $70 shirt than spend that same type of money on disposable stuff that doesn't support my community, that potentially could go to someone that thinks I'm not as good as they are.
Well,
right? I'm not as worthy. So yeah, I'm about to buy this. I'm about to buy this cream short set. It's gonna be fire.
And
I'm
that's
gonna
why.
get my crew socks. Thanks, Tom. There we go.
Yeah, get you your free socks now. Don't mess around and not get the free socks. That's $18. What I will say is, this is exactly why my frat brother, Jerry Lorenzo Manuel, has fear of God. And I have never been a person who was about labels. I really haven't. When I was in high school in 1984, polos were a thing and people were flipping their collars and the prep thing and all that sort of stuff, and Lacoste. And it was kind of the beginning of brands being a truly embraced thing for the middle class. There were always haute couture and all those houses, but this is when Gucci really started to give accessible on-ramps to their stuff. And I was just never that kid. It just wasn't very important to me. Alexander Julian, remember that? Tommy Hilfiger and stuff. It just wasn't my bag. But when Fear of God came out and I could actually support a Black-owned company with a Black designer who was making things with a Black sensibility of relaxed luxury and quality, I was happy to pay it. I mean, it's even better that he's my frat brother now. But at that point where I was able to say, I could support Michael Jordan, but Michael Jordan's really Nike. I could support LeBron James. Now, when Venus and Serena had their collection, briefly, I bought some of their stuff because I was like, oh, okay, they actually have ownership. When Stephon Marbury briefly had Starbury shoes, I bought some Starbury shoes. Because
Alex and Felix has her Seish line. I got 2 pairs of those.
I got my pink and green ones over here.
Nice.
Because she did a limited edition, aka one. So
I'm not surprised. Yeah, y'all be rocking that. Y'all be rocking.
Yeah. I got them over here.
I am so happy to support, and I really don't care about the price for precisely the reason that Joy just said. There's some of us out there buying, $1,200 Louboutins. For what? Because the red bottom of the shoe, which is going to get torn up from walking, that nobody can see.
Thank you, Marie.
Stick your feet up. Thank you, Marie. We really appreciate you. Listen, folks, it's really about making a difference where you can. And when you have a high quality product provided, $60 isn't Givenchy and Girbeau. And
I'm gonna tell you who else don't need my money. I mentioned, Louis Vuitton, Cartier, and Tiffany. You know who else don't need my money? The DNC. Because I swear for God, if they call me or text me, I got 11 texts in the span of a minute. I actually thought somebody was hurt because my phone went off so much. I was like, oh, what's going on? The group chat is blowing up. And there's 11 different senators asking me for money to save democracy. No. You know who's getting my money? Actively Black.
There you go.
Because at least I know where it's going.
And for people talking about $60 for a t-shirt, I bet you paid it for Balenciaga. Because I know Balenciaga doesn't drop anything that's less than $60.
Right.
You probably got a toe ring or
So I tried to be fancy because I need a new suitcase, and I was gonna get me like one of those fancy hardback, metal suitcases, whatever. I went into Toomey and went right back out. Like, what the hell? What the hell are you on? What the hell,
baby?
What the hell, Barry? Like, you want how much? Let me see if I can get this kidney out by myself real quick. Nah, it's stuck. I'm going home.
Listen, I live next to a mall that has some very expensive stores. So this is the Valley Mall. This is the biggest mall closest to Calabasas. And
I'm trying to make it. It says, "Thank you, Cecily, for your order."
Oh, okay.
Nice.
So when they expanded and decided they were going to upgrade the mall, they added all of these things. So we have Christian Dior now. We have a real Louis store, Ferragamo, all of these stores. There's a Cartier there now. And it's really beautiful. We have an Hermes. You know, it's lovely, but it's also, it feels kind of ridiculous in the environment that we're in right now. It's like, how you're putting all of this stuff. They're opening up another big store. Maybe it's Prada. I think there's a Prada store coming in. And it's like, okay, this will be really nice. You know, I'm sure influencers will love to take pictures in front of these beautiful signs and these beautiful scapes and all of that. But it does feel a little bit wrong-headed that this is what we're doing.
Yeah, it feels very let them eat cake. Like, really?
Right. It really does. And granted, downstairs there is a Black-owned eatery in the Topanga Social Mall space called Sola. They are a New Orleans po' boy sandwich shop.
Oh God, I want to go.
That is in LA.
Is it any good?
It's delicious. They named their sandwiches after Laker players. So there's like a Kobe. So it's really cool, and the people are great. And at my suggestion, because I said, you know, you're in California, and I know po' boy sandwiches are really big, but that's a lot of bread, and the carbs.
Wait. Is this the thing? Can I do that, Bob? Is that real?
Hey, or drive over to Scottsboro. I didn't even think about that. Drive to Scottsboro.
Oh, I'm gonna find me a bag because I know there's some in there.
Yeah.
Oh, there have to be.
I ain't even thought about that.
But you know, Scottsboro is where they take all the unclaimed luggage.
Yeah, I want. Oh, do they auction it off?
No, it's like a big warehouse.
Place.
You can buy the luggage or the contents of the luggage. I didn't even think about that.
Word. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, I'm doing that.
So you can go. You can go to Sola if you're here in LA. You can go to Sola. You can follow. There's a bunch of food influencers, Black-owned folks that got different things going on. Grits and Waffles has their new location open.
Good for her.
So you all just really be intentional. I told you all many months ago about the Juneteenf idea, which was supporting economic investment starting on the Tuesday of every week. So be intentional about buying from a Black-owned vendor of any sort. It can be a restaurant, it can be actively Black, whatever. It can be an online store owned and operated by Black folks. But be intentional specifically on Tuesday, and then as you can expand it and grow your overall spending, do that. But check it out. Do what you can. Support where you can. And to CJ's point, I got my thank you, Thomas email with my confirmation number. I love how there's this little hustle on the free unlimited return. They hit you up $5.24.
Look, which I mean, I saved on my shipping, but and I've noticed that afterwards, but that's okay. But you know, but
it's fine.
I'm encouraged by my sorority sisters because this month for June we're supposed to be wearing pink and buying green, spending green. Like businesses, come on now, this is
right.
Another one.
I feel you.
So,
how much you got to spend to get free shipping? Jesus.
I don't know. I bought the pants. Tom encouraged me because I don't know why I was getting shorts because I rarely wear shorts.
You know what? I was about to make the same mistake. I don't wear shorts.
I do, but not often. So that's why I bought the shirt and the pants. And
I should say for those of you, even if you just want to visit the site is really well done.
Yeah.
Yes.
They got these animated things and they did like these beautiful photo shoots. It's really, really nice. And they have a bunch of cool designs. So, I went with the t-shirt that had more messaging, but they've got this really cool graphic of a Black hand emerging out of a cotton field, holding some cotton bowls.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
Oh no, they've got some dope stuff.
I didn't either. I saw the first one with all the words on it. That's the one I bought. Oops. Well, it's okay. I'm happy.
Let me get
all of it is great. But yeah, if you scroll down, it's called the Actively Black Cotton Reclaim shirt. And they have it as a hoodie as well. You just got to do a little scroll.
Over there and look.
Ooh, I do like that. Let me see if I can show it on screen. You see the fist rising up out of the shirt.
I see that one.
Mm-hmm.
But see, the other thing I love about Actively Black is that they'll celebrate other Black entrepreneurs and artists and things
they
like
did
that.
Like
yesterday,
collab with Fubu. Mm-hmm.
Or was it yesterday or day before? You know, they've got now stuff for Tupac's birthday.
Mm-hmm.
They've had, you know,
they're talking to the guy that made the Juneteenf flag.
All of it. I love all of it. So, you know, you can't help but love them.
And
I have my Wakanda. I bought it.
I got 2 Wakanda shirts, and a bag. I think this leather satchel came in like a big velvet bag, and I was like, y'all done one up the Crown Royal people with this velvet bag, and I will be keeping it. And thank you very much. I put that in my review. I'm keeping the bag too.
So here are some of the designs, just in case you were intrigued. I got the one that's on the far right, or far left rather, with the slogans, Black owned from the dirt to the shirt. And that's the back, and the front is what the woman is modeling. So it's got the really nice graphic of the cotton bowls in the Actively Black logo. Those are the shorts that will not get you free shipping if you buy a t-shirt. There's another t-shirt on here, the made from cotton grown by Black farmers. There's nothing on the front of that shirt. And then the last shirt is the one that Joy was showing on her phone, which has the graphic that I was talking about that I thought was so cool. So get on to Actively Black, y'all. It is definitely worth it. The designs are beautiful. The intentionality is beautiful. The spirituality of connecting the roots of one of the few Black-owned cotton farms with a brand that is interested in supporting them. That's really what it's all about for me.
Another thing that as we were talking about Black farmers and 40 acres and a few other things, it all gelled for me about what it means to be like Gen X Black person in the United States, and millennial, like those 2 generations, because my parents were born in the 30s, right? Give or take. They grew up with matter of fact, my father used to tell me that he only reason he graduated valedictorian of his high school was because everybody else was in the field. Like they had to work, and he went to school more than anybody else, right? So knowing how to farm, working on farm, knowing how to hunt, even field dressing animals, all that kind of stuff. There was while we were busy trying to assimilate, and our parents pushed us for that, right? Go, get bussed over to this other school, get a better education, get a white collar job, stay out of this manual labor, be bougie, because Black folks haven't been bougie. They had been fancy, but they had not been bougie, if you know the difference, before that. And so we didn't learn a lot of those skills because it was looked down on, like, don't do those sorts of things. That's for other people, as we try to be bougie. And then the millennials didn't learn it either. Gen Z don't even know what if you say backhoe, they think there's some kind of, position because they're stupid, but we have gotten away from learning any of this. And we were so busy trying to assimilate that we lost that connection. And when we talk about we need to get it back like Rosewood too. We need to get it back like Tulsa. We need to have a Black community that does everything. Actively Black, saying from the dirt to the shirt, there's more than just the cotton and the finished product. That's a whole lot of processes in between, right? Meaning they have searched their whole supply chain, which is why that shirt costs whatever it costs. And I'm going to pay that as soon as I figure out how many of them I want. But also, I think we're closer, if we want to be closer, we're closer to having that Tulsa self-reliance. It may not all be in one city. Matter of fact, I don't think it will be. But this is one of the reasons they keep trying to shut down the internet and TikTok and Threads and Instagram, and anywhere where you can have a store that they can't necessarily regulate, because it allows small businesses to make money outside of the function of all the licensing and all the other nonsense that you got to do just to set up a lemonade stand on Main Street, right?
Listen.
And you know, because it's not just Actively Black. There's so many other Black-owned businesses that are thriving right now. But then what was the people that was selling the box of like Black products? It was like Band-Aids and laundry detergent and candles and toothbrushes. I think it's like WeBuyBlack.com, but I think they've updated their website since then.
Oh, let me know.
Okay. I wasn't aware of that one. I know that there is a farmer in out here in California.
Yes.
Huh?
I'm gonna put it so the We Buy Black. If you type that in, you still get they know what you're looking for. It's called Naspora.com. And I'm putting that in the chat. There we go. Okay. Yeah, check them out. They collected all kind of Black products for you, and curated into like a little pack, so you can just buy everything.
Well, that's nice.
Mm-hmm. They had a pack of Black-owned Band-Aids called Browndages. I was like, that's so cute.
So you said something about backhoe that really
get backhoe.
it really
it stuck with you.
It stuck with me because there is a video that I saw on YouTube, on Instagram, and it featured this word.
I saw that.
And this little 10-year-old girl was walking by with her older sister, and the older sister was like, "Wait, why do you want to go there?" And she's like, "Because I like horses, ho."
Oh,
I love us.
The cough, I coughed. And it's like there's that other little meme that says, name the one word you mispronounced one time and it's haunted you forever. And a brother comes on and he says, man's laughter.
What? Oh, manslaughter.
He thought it was man's laughter. Oh my goodness.
Now, the one that I used to that I like, matter of fact, me and my friends love this so much that we named our chat this at one point. But you know, people want to talk about, you know, a throwback, and they say, you know, who remembers?
Right.
And everyone's like, yeah, me and my wild friends, yeah, who remembers? That's us. Yeah.
The thing I love about that is that as a person who loves language and loves reading, as soon as you put it on, I knew exactly.
You know what it is. Oh, you know what? Since it is Juneteenth and we're celebrating, we don't have to always not be petty. We can be petty for a little while. And I'm gonna get slightly political for a second and say there was an explosion late last night, early this morning.
Yeah, I kind of clapped for it when I saw. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. SpaceX had their 10th explosion in 5 years. They were testing a shuttle of some sort, and it just kablooshed.
And I mean, it was huge. It was that
in Texas.
Yes.
I mean, to be fair, the correct term is unscheduled disassembly.
Right.
Unscheduled pyrotechnics. Jinx. Unscheduled pyrotechnic disassembly.
So we're talking about a bunch of different stuff, and one of the things that I love the most about Spades game
this year, it is June.
I thought it was
in 2025, Bob.
Yeah, because I knew of two, but I didn't know
what?
that this.
If I wreck my car once, they cancel my insurance. He has blown up 4 things this year.
Well, here's the thing. Technically, they tried to cancel him, and then he fired everybody.
Yeah,
so he could reinstate his punk ass.
And had the nerve to talk about, well, I'll just stop making my Dragon rocket, bruh, like it was gonna make it.
Exactly. You know how much
and you got all
pollution
these
they put out
billions
by
of
that one
dollars in NASA
explosion?
contracts. We can't even get a rocket into the atmosphere.
He literally, if you haven't seen Don't Look Up, you missing the blueprint. He is literally the rich guy from Don't Look Up.
Yes.
Every single piece of it.
You know, in all honesty though, it was, I'm trying to remember, well, in all the crap that has gone on the last 6 months, but there was something that happened one night, and I'm like, oh my God, this is Don't Look Up. And I was like, I don't want to have dinner because I don't want to be sitting there eating dinner waiting for the sky to fall.
Right, literally. But it's so feasible. That movie was so good that I actually went outside and looked up. I was like, is this like a meta thing where they tell us don't look up to see if we actually will not? Because is there a thing? Like, I looked for like a solid 5 minutes.
I didn't even hear about this thing.
The movie?
Did not even hear about this.
Oh, the explosion.
I did not.
It was on the, yeah, I saw it this morning. I saw it on the news this morning
when I woke up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You're right, Anthony. That's why they're trying to cancel everybody.
So this is one of the things I was getting into it. One of the things I enjoy most about being
let
Black,
them take a bigly trip to Mars. Mm-hmm.
Bigly. It's the best planet next to our planet because it's red.
Right.
This is the big blue marble because liberals have destroyed everything, but on Mars it's red.
You know what? That is an argument he would make.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
The marbles are so blue. The bluest marbles you've ever seen. I know marbles. I know more about marbles than anybody.
No, I don't, because I lost mine.
Right.
So,
right.
Well, he'd never admit that.
No, of course not.
So the idea of sitting at a table of spades and talking trash is an important part of our experiences as young folks. And because everything that is related to AI in any capacity is like leaping forward in terms of advancements. 2 weeks ago, you had never seen an animated baby. Now, every TV show in history has been converted into scenes of animated babies, especially Real Housewives, which, by the way, I would happily watch more of the babies of the Real Housewives more than I would like to watch the Real Housewives.
Side note, speaking of the babies of the Real Housewives, because I was sitting with someone who was watching one of those channels. You do know that Teresa Giudice from Real Housewives of New Jersey and Kim Zolciak's daughter from Atlanta will have a new show.
Oh no, it's already on. And Riley from Real Housewives of Atlanta, Candy Burris's daughter, is on it. And a dude who's the son of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake is also on it. And then you have, it's called Next Gen NYC. And let me tell you, listen, if you like the Real Housewives franchise, this is so much more petty. And these kids are doing the most. And I will say this, Ariana Zolciak is actually one of the nicest people on the show. And Teresa's daughter, as Andy would say, Teresa Giudice, her daughter still lives at home in New Jersey, but she's also a really nice one. So the Kim Zolciak you thought would be horrible. Her daughter is great. It's actually a very entertaining show. But I was saying this because AI, the videos that have been coming across my stream lately today are these AI clapbacks. Somebody went in and programmed some video AI prompts. These are all AI generated, no humans involved at all. But the clap backage is absolutely amazing. I don't know if it's a combination of prompt and them, combing the internet for how people talk in clapbacks. But let's take a look at this because it is enjoyable. It gave me something to laugh about today. And so I just wanted to share it. Here we go.
These are too goddamn small! If your big, round, beluga bop whale-looking self needs an accommodation in the cargo hold, we can make that happen.
You dumbass workers can't even get my order right.
I don't speak to people like you. I have megalophobia.
I told them I didn't want mustard.
If you clearly look at the burger with your colorblind, fat, Godzilla-built cinnamon roll, fat-looking self, you will see that is clearly ketchup. My hair is so teed. Period.
Your hair is fake and nappy.
Shut the fuck up, you old saggy, flippy, floppy, posty, raggedy, flaggedy ass bitch. Hair slap.
Oh.
That's AI. That is AI.
I don't know who I'm looking at, but I'm looking somewhere. Like what? Anybody? Somebody.
And there's another series. I think it's by the same people, the same programmers. They have these AI old people at a nursing home. And when I tell you the trash they are talking, oh, it's clapbacks with dirty aunts and dirty aunties. They're absolutely real, especially if you're looking at it on the phone. You would not believe those weren't people. You wouldn't believe it.
Wow.
And this is where we're going. Some guy had it was almost like a Skynet warning video. He was like, we introduce AI for the small things like changing traffic lights and setting up your hold music. And next thing you know, the machines will actually be giving the orders.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be optimizing your own personal efficiency in a way that they want to. This is where we are, folks.
Mm-hmm.
This is where we are.
You prepare yourself for 40 acres is all I'm saying. Figure out wherever Danielle Detweiler is going to be and be with her because she's ruthless. She going to make it happen. Danielle and Michael B. Jordan, I'm staying where y'all is at. Because y'all going to have the guns and the skills between Killmonger and Smoke. Yeah, it is.
Oh, okay.
No, is this Chin, right?
Yes,
Chin?
Yeah.
Listen here, Chin, you were supposed to be on here with me tonight.
Ooh.
And
that's all I'm gonna say. So anyway, you're making me think now. I need to go watch this movie and sit here and try to figure out what I'm gonna do. Cause I got access to 30 acres of farmland right now.
Sounds like you about to be either Negan or Rick Grimes. You just pick which one you want to be. I would say Negan. Negan had a better lock on his people.
Okay.
Yep. And Rick was just whining.
Rick was whining. Him and Carl all the time.
That's why old girl flipped to join Negan in Dead City.
Mm-hmm. And when you get to, with the farmland, I know some farmers. I know some people that know how to grow their own food. I'm a pretty good shot. I'm good at logistics. I got another friend. You got
75% of them.
Shut up, Chan. I don't know why I put your comments up, man. We boycotting you till you show up on the show, Chan. And we all know that's a lie. But anyway, yeah, just let me know. Like when you decide to pull the trigger, you need people to like show up and help you work the land. I got you.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna bring some doctors and some teachers and some other people to fill in the gaps of stuff that will do what they told, and we'll have a whole little village, and we'll shoot others on sight.
All I will say, folks, is that try to prepare yourself because there's so much going on right now. Remember in the gentle days of the early 1900s where you could gin up a controversy by writing a newspaper article?
Yep.
Are you telling me that Americans wouldn't be incensed by seeing what they believe to be live video of a U.S. Air carrier being struck by what they perceive to be Iranian missiles?
Wag the dog.
I mean, before and Wag the dog was using, the technology was impossible at that time, but you could actually do a Wag the dog scenario and it would be on the news before there was any fact check. And then once it's out the barn, we've got this desperate new video that just came in of the blah, 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 blah being struck. I saw a video that the USS Nimitz is being sent to the Gulf, a aircraft carrier that is set to be decommissioned in 2026.
Mm-hmm.
If you were going to create a scenario where there was a false flag,
sink an old boat.
You sink an old boat. You don't sink a brand new boat. You sink a boat at the end of its life expectancy when you were expecting to decommission it the following year anyway.
Mm-hmm. And you know,
you got a video
posted to all the troops.
And you had a video posted. You had a video posted recently by Anonymous talking about.
Oh yeah, no, they're not. And listen, I saw a video today of this. Well, the positioning is that she was a new person who had just completed boot camp, and she had a little clamshell of her dinner, and she was very excited because the dinner was absolutely delicious. It had steak. It had lobster, it had a shrimp cocktail, it had asparagus, it had a baked potato, it had a hush puppy, it had all of these things. And people in the comments were like, that's your ready to deploy meal.
Yeah. All the former military is like, they about to say, they about
yeah,
to
that's what I was going to say, baby, that's your last supper. That's what as I'm listening to, I'm like,
lobster in the American Army? Gal. You ain't talked to nobody in your unit? You ain't talked to your drill sergeant or anybody?
Well, they're not going to tell them. She needs to talk to a veteran. She needs to talk to somebody.
That's true. Somebody
check comments under her own
She's had no exposure to anyone who could tell her that,
right?
And give her that information. And it's and that's what they were saying. They were like the ones that they sent to California. They're young. I think y'all said that they didn't know. They don't have any exposure. No frame of reference to go by.
And sad thing is they're going to get these boys and girls killed. All for nothing, for literally nothing that's even real. You know.
Well, to that point, Joy, there's two quick things. Netanyahu has been talking about the imminent capability of Iran's nuclear weapons since 2012.
Before that,
we were in 2012. Oh yeah, I think it went back to 2008.
I can't remember, but it was before then. Yeah.
And we were 5 months away at that point. And then you had Tulsi Gabbard in March saying, no, they're not actually close to having a nuclear weapon. And then you got Trump yesterday saying, I don't care what Tulsi said in March. That was a long time ago. Really? Because that's how nuclear physics works. You can enrich uranium in a couple of months.
You just put it in the microwave.
Yeah, clearly.
Well,
or actually, please put some fissional material in the microwave. Whole White House looked like Brave New World.
Shame.
So
what were you about to say, CJ?
No, I'm saying, but he would believe that because remember, we could drop a bomb in the middle of a hurricane to stop it.
Stop the hurricane.
We could put bleach in our arms to kill COVID. So why wouldn't he think that you can enrich uranium in the microwave in less than a couple of months?
I mean, I will just say that one of the things
that really, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. I was reading Bob's comment.
that really burned me about these LA National Guard deployments and the Marines and everything. If you're a veteran, this will probably resonate with you a little bit more. Their orders were for 29 days. Do you know why?
Yes, because any more than that, they'd have to pay them more and provide them with more benefit.
Housing allowance.
Yeah, it's just it's like it's you know what it is? It is literally a 23-hour hold in the hospital. 23 hours, you're not an inpatient.
Oh, I'll take you further back. It is George Washington bringing his slaves back north, leaving the slaves south every now and then, and only letting them stay in a free state up to the day that they would be free, and then moving them back down to Virginia and then bringing them back. When he was staying up there, he would send them home just to reset that number every time. So this isn't new. This playing with the numbers is not new.
It is not.
I hate it here.
I do too.
I would go, but they just all of a sudden put basically all of Africa on the watch list. So now you can't come in from any of those countries. And if you go to those countries, getting back is going to be a pain in the ass. So they're doing the most.
Yep. Make your Africa plans for 2027 after the midterms.
Yeah.
Are we going to
make sure you vote during the midterms? So here's this is on the lighter side of things. Again, it kind of relates to clapbacks, but these are nerd clapbacks. These are nerd your mama jokes. Set in the Harry Potter universe, which made me laugh. So let's take a look at instead of Yo Mama, I guess it's Yo Lily. These are some Yo Lily jokes.
I was going to hit you with some Harry Potter themed Yo Mama jokes.
Oh, okay.
Yo Mama's so fat, the Sorting Hat put her in Waffle House.
Okay, first.
I don't even like Harry Potter, but I got that joke right there. That's horrible.
What a way to start.
Wow.
Right out the gate was so peak. I had to stop and say that because some of them are not, I mean, I don't know that any of them are as on point and sharp and quick as that one. There are some really good ones though. I just wanted to stop because my God, that was.
I was going to hit you with some Harry Potter themed Yo Mama jokes.
Oh, okay.
Yo Mama's so fat, the Sorting Hat put her in Waffle House.
That's the funniest thing I've heard in such a long time.
Your mama's so fat, her Patronus is a cake.
Yeah.
Your mama's so fat, her Boggart is a diet. Your mama's so fat, her wand is a Slim Jim.
That's
Your mama's so ugly, she walked into Gringotts and they gave her a job application.
Ooh.
Your mama's so fat, she got stuck in the Flu Network.
These are great. I hope a lot of Harry Potter fans watch this.
Your mama's so ugly, Hogwarts is named after her face.
Damn.
Your mama's so dumb, she brought syrup to a Quidditch game because she heard there be quaffles. Your mama's so fat, her footprints leave holes in the Marauders map.
Yeah, it's good. I like that.
I was going to hit you with some.
Those are pretty good.
As far as your mama joke said, the Harry Potter verse, I don't know if you're going to find anything better than that.
No.
The Sorting Hat put her in Waffle House.
That was he's like they came out the box with the best one.
I mean, they came in hot with that. I mean, woo! Oh, I didn't even see this Bob Breeden comment about he put the microwave in Texas.
Oh, we were talking about the uranium. Yeah, so that must be what happened down there. Yeah. This is why they say put your tray table up, Explosions. No smoking in the bathroom on the shuttle, please.
Please, no.
But the ancestors have been busy. A whole lot of stuff has been catching fire and shutting down. And I guess they said if y'all want to do it, we got to do it ourselves. And then they did. Set everything on fire.
Well, and one of the things that I'm enjoying about living in Los Angeles, first of all, it is absolutely not on fire. There is no fire out here. People are, except for today, which is a federal holiday, it's actually gorgeous. And we are just out here living. There are people who are protesting constantly. Among the petty things that are being done now are that there are people who are arriving at the spots where the ICE agents are camped, and they are just making noise to make it difficult for the ICE agents to sleep. Not so that they can't do their jobs, but that they'll be extra miserable doing them the next day. And because Dodger Stadium, like a huge portion of the Dodger fan base are Latino people. They even created a dog at the stadium instead of Dodger dog, because you can get a Dodger dog in the grocery. They're long hot dogs, and so they actually sell them. There's a manufacturer that makes the Dodger dogs, and they sell them in grocery stores out here in LA. But they have a dog called the Doyer dog because and they spell it Doyer because it's a play on how some of the Latino fans pronounce the Doyers. And they have such a huge fan base that a lot of people in the LA community were expecting for the Dodgers to maybe say something. about the things that are going on, the deportations and all this sort of stuff, but they didn't. And so a lot of fans were being upset and saying some things. Today is Juneteenth. It's Black Heritage Day. And so typically I might take one of my sons to go see a game. They got Mookie Betts jerseys that they're giving out to people today. But because of the stance that the Dodgers was taking, I chose not to try to do that. So what we ended up having is a situation where ICE thought they were going to roll up into Dodger Stadium and just start grabbing people. And the Dodgers said, these people paid for tickets.
Right.
So that's what you're trying to do. You're not about to come up in here with your unticketed ass, not paying $35 for parking, and just storm into our privately owned facility and start taking out our paying patrons. That is a bridge too far. So, you know, but the footage of seeing ICE turned around, escorted by LAPD, who must have been clued in by Dodgers leadership to say, there are some people who are going to be trying to breach our stadium.
And we're not having it.
We're not having it. You need to turn them around.
I also heard, I don't know if this was LA, New York, or where, but that folks were throwing bags of glitter on ICE agents because even after they take all their stuff off, they're gonna have glitter on them for days, and you will know who's an ICE agent when they go back to their regular job.
Oh, I love it.
Look, here you go. Sam coming in late.
Sam.
Hey, Sam. Samuel. I have something I want to share. Okay, so I know we just did the nerd thing with Harry Potter. I'm a nerd to something else with not Deadpool, what's his name? Daredevil that I saw. This is hilarious. Now, I will say I think it's a little language in it, but it's worth it. But also, you don't have to know language. If you've never seen any of the Daredevil stuff, just know that he is blind.
Yes.
And he fights by hearing you. But he's blind. It's a big part of why this is all funny. Because the skit is, what if you got your socks rocked by Daredevil?
Spidey sense, do he? He using echolocation to beat my ass. He a real Batman. He walked in and the first thing he said is, it smell like bitch in here. Oh, so you got jokes. I was trying to act all tough, but I forgot the nigga can tell when I'm lying. I can't breathe. You ever had a blind nigga call you ugly?
No.
It don't feel good.
What's it like fighting Daredevil?
It's like giving Bruce Lee anger issues and shoving a lie detector up his ass. Tell me why Liddy tried to wrap a towel around his head to block his vision. I told this nigga he can't see. When a grown-ass man in Red Devil lingerie whips out two dildo-looking thingies, nigga, I almost died of shock. Nigga, if you can read minds and shit, don't be a lawyer.
So sit your ass down. Thank you.
I don't know how this worked, but when he hit me in the neck, he switched my breathing from automatic to manual. And he fucking She-Hulk. Come the fuck up. He be flipping around like Prime Yoda.
For real?
Little Rey Mysterio ass nigga. When we finally shook him off, he yelled out Marco. Tell me why Liddy dumbass gonna yell Polo.
Wow.
That's why his dumbass in a coma now. How is he dodging all my punches? Nigga don't got Spidey sense, do he?
That's it.
Marco.
Listen, I have seen so many nerd things. There's one of my there's this guy who's a content creator, and he's done some Hogwarts stuff in the past. His main brand is that he's the most toxic black male ever.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, so
a lot to live up to.
Like, yeah, right, exactly. He's like, I'm your girl's baby father. Of course I'm. That's the. I mean, it's like the hardest, most negative stuff ever. And today I saw two. It was I'm your girl's best friend. Of course I'm X, and it's like, you know, extra mega toxic. But he also did a Harry Potter one where he's trying to encourage all of the Hogwarts kids to stand up and actually fight Voldemort together. He's like, I can say it. What, you scared? It's just. He who is not named. I've struggled too, you know. So it's there's some really good, amazing content being created by Black creators, and I really love it. You've been going.
I got one more thing that I'm going to show if I can find it real quick. I had it queued up and then I lost it real quick. There it is. I don't know who this kid is, but he absolutely eats up this this choreography, and it's worth seeing.
Okay, let's have it. Make sure the audio's on.
Yep. And go.
You better walk that off. Yes.
Walk it off. The pause.
Yeah,
the
way he was walking to get in position. I knew
the pause, the flick, the turn.
Yes.
And y'all caught that he had his arm out of the sleeve, so he kind of had a third arm flying around during the whole man. Listen.
And the reason I wanted to show that is multi-layered. Is one, Black Boy Joy. Two, this kid is killing his choreography. And three, I want to give a moment of encouragement to him or them, not sure, and everybody that is allowing this kid to wreck this choreography like that, because I can foresee 10 years ago people saying, don't dance like that, don't do this, don't do that. Because I went back through some of his earlier posts, and you can see, the little flat top, a little bit more, traditionally dressed, I guess you say. And then I'm seeing him here and I'm like, okay, this is ambiguous on purpose. Okay, you coming into your own, but also you are a dancer.
Yeah.
Whatever other profession somebody was going to try to convince him to be, a scientist or dock worker or mechanic, whatever, you a dancer. And that's what you're supposed to be doing. And I'm so excited that he is doing it, or that this kid is killing his choreography. Like, it made me happy. And the song choice was just mwah.
Oh yeah, perfect.
Joy out here sounding like Whoopi Goldberg in Sister Act 2. You a dancer, boy.
You a sing. You a dancer. That's what you made for.
That's what you made for.
I love cheering on the kids on internet.
Yes.
He did that.
Samuel been talking about he need muscle relaxers from watching that.
Lord.
That routine was hard.
No, it
was.
I enjoyed it. I don't know if y'all saw me. I was sitting up there with that black auntie, like, look at that baby. Look at that baby dance. Look at that baby dance.
Yeah, this is about all I could do on there.
Everybody, he started off with, I got this. But the whole group was good. Everybody
they were
good.
But Green Hoodie killed it.
Mm-hmm.
Green Hoodie.
You know who you remind me of? Leroy.
From
Fame. In Fame? In the original Fame.
Leroy has been reincarnated into that kid.
Yes. Yes.
That's good
the highest compliment I could pay, because Leroy was my first male dance crush. Yes.
Yes. I think he was
and the girl who brought him to the audition was salty as heck.
It should have been. Oh, she was hot garbage. She looked like one of those bouncy monsters from The Wiz.
And Debbie Allen was just like,
yeah. And then he started, Leroy, God rest in peace.
Yeah.
I remember he left a long time ago, but Leroy was legendary. Legendary.
And brought him onto the TV show.
Sure did. Because can't nobody dance like him.
Right.
Nope.
Until this little boy. I see a future.
Right.
I see a future for him. Avenelli, come get your people.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
I was gonna say that's all I had. Those are the things I had to share today. It was just some
TJ,
fun uplifting stuff. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What would you like to share with the class as we're winding down this special Juneteenth episode?
There's a lot. It was so funny. I put on a t-shirt today when I came home out of my work clothes. You can't see it. It says Defend 340B, and it is a program through the Department of Health and Human Services for safety net providers to provide to purchase medications at low cost, to either gain another source of revenue and provide to uninsured patients at lower no cost. And I'm bringing this up because this program, even before all of this administration, has been under attack by Big Pharma, and it's really being attacked right now. Mm-hmm. And I want to show that because I work for a federally qualified health center in which the majority of the patients treated by federally qualified health centers look like us. And I just want to make sure that those of us who have ability or have are out there educating other Black folks to get out and vote, because it's important. Here, I know that we're talking about the midterms coming up, but in our localities, we have local elections. In August, we'll have a local election here in Mobile. We'll have a mayoral election and city council. And the city council does provide funding to certain health centers. So I try to get want folks to be involved on the local fronts, because we know the federal government ain't doing crap right now. Mm-hmm. It's the local government, the city, county, state that are having impact for people in their areas. And that's my big thing right now. I've always followed politics. I kind of step back for a minute, but I'm even before all of this drama with 45, 47. I was getting back into it because I'm looking at what's happening to folks. I mean, I'm lucky enough that right now I'm in a position where I'm not as harmed as others, but I'm looking at the folks who are harmed, and I can't turn my back on my brother and sister because I got it and they don't. Right. And that's what I want. As we celebrate Juneteenth, as we celebrate this freedom that we have, as we celebrate this, I want us to exercise this freedom for positive, for change. And that's really my thing. That's what I have going on right now. I know Joy kind of knows life has been lifing for me here recently. And so I'm channeling that to say, we got to fight for a change. And now I ain't going out and protesting with them No Kings folks, because I ain't crazy. I'm going to go get shot. I was mad to see some folks I knew out there doing that. But there's some other things that we can do. And I want us to make sure that we as a people are doing that.
Because as much as we earlier were talking about, coalescing the Black community and buying Black and do all of that. But also remember that we live in a larger country and that we need to look out for those among us that are additionally marginalized, like the Black veterans, the women, the LGBTQ community, the other smaller communities that don't have as much of a voice. We're all in this together. And I am perpetually disappointed when I see all of these videos, like, people doing little interviews on the streets and there's a 20-something and they're like, oh, I didn't vote. Or, I didn't have time, or I didn't see the point. Like, how bad does it have to get for you to realize that you are the solution? And that all you had to do was go and exercise that right. And yes, I know we're looking at some malfeasance investigations right now, but that doesn't stop the fact that those videos still exist for all these young people saying they didn't vote. All Black people saying they didn't vote. Then one girl voted for Trump. Like, girl, where's your mama? Is what I wanted to know. But it's not going to get better until more people get involved. And
I was talking to
yeah, go ahead.
I was talking to a young person recently who was like, we were talking about the lawsuit up in New York, and they were talking about the investigation up in New York about the voting. She's like, oh yeah, that was proof that my vote wouldn't have counted. I'm like, but it did. I said, because even the folks who did vote the way they were supposed to, that's more evidence.
Right.
And I'm like, so your vote did have a count. And I'm like, you're missing the whole point.
The whole point.
It's scary. It's scary to me.
I don't know how to get that through to them. Like, I've worked with people before that I knew either were completely brainwashed or didn't see the point. or I just vote the way my mom told me to, or my dad, or whatever. Or you got a whole bunch of religious sections that do not vote because they're gonna leave it up to God. All right. I don't respect that. I'm gonna just say that out loud.
No.
Not saying I don't respect your religion. I don't respect that particular beliefs decision to stay out of secular politics or whatever because you needed your help and you watched. So,
and so many other people who are proclaiming to express their religion through their vote, are voting. And I it is unacceptable for my young folks to vote. They all get a ride. Oh, okay. Folks, I have a post that one of my Rattler friends actually put on here. So I'm going to share this. Juneteenth is to be commemorated more than celebrated. I know media has coined Happy Juneteenth, but will we say happy end of the Holocaust to Jewish people? Because slavery was just that, a genocide torture camp that legally lasted for 246 years. For context, the Holocaust was 4 years. And on today, Donald Trump railed against the fact that there are too many non-working days in America. And he put that on Juneteenth. Which commemorates the end of slavery in the entire then.
That's on brand.
I actually expected an executive order to rescind the holiday. I really did expect it. So,
yeah, he's saying that the Columbus Day is coming back. This was the trade-off. Like Columbus Day stopped being a federal holiday, so the Juneteenth could be a federal holiday. And now he's talking about bringing Columbus Day back, which is why, Joe, I told you this might be our last Juneteenth as a Juneteenth, unless midterms. So,
the holiday that everybody needs is Super Tuesday. Why not give everybody the day off to vote? You can have Juneteenth and Columbus Day. I give you both, and the 4th of July to have a day off to vote.
Yeah. National Election Day. And that's only once every 2 years.
Yeah. The one that works the least.
Come on, Miles. I
love how we can all read that acronym.
Exactly. Sometimes I put a D in that
for the T with that.
Yeah, for that last T.
He's worked a total of 48 hours since January 20th.
And while he was working those 48 hours, he was buying things off his own website and watching old episodes of The Apprentice. So I don't know how much that actually.
You're fired.
I can't. I can't. Things that I want to say about him will get us immediately canceled. So I'm gonna just not. But if you could see into my mind,
damn, Joy. Woo! Yeah, that was hurt. That was me.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad, right?
Yeah, I saw it. Oh, I'm sorry. That was what I said in my head. Oh, okay. I attributed it to you. Sorry.
Yeah, mine was about how flexible he is to be able to bend over and do things to himself.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
Told you he was.
Bend over to the front and touch your toes.
But he would have to almost do full circle because it's not a lot to get to.
Facts on facts.
Yeah.
You reminded me. There's an internet show that I got turned on to because I watched Shits and Gigs, which is James and Fuhad, and they had a guest on there, Nessa. Is it Nessa Rose? Nella Rose, I think. And she has her own show. And on this show, which is her and like 3 other black dudes. And
is she kind of a heavyset girl?
She is.
I know. I love her.
Yeah, she's hilarious. She's amazing. And so the 3 dudes were in the studio, and one of the dudes just decided to go slap the F off about his homie and the size of his unit. And was when I tell you, he was talking cash shit, and
he
she
was mad because it was big.
Huh?
He was mad because his homeboy was big or smaller.
He said when he first saw it, he thought he had rice down there. He said he does a wank like this, and old boy's like, shut off the cameras, I'm gonna pull it out right now. And he said, hold up, we'll call your boy, and rung him on the phone. And he said, yo, what's up with is Blank's, basically is his dick small? And he was like, I mean, yeah. And I don't know how you recover from that. You don't. You need to change your name and you start selling insurance.
You just killed me dead. I'm just saying.
You called? Whose man's is this? First of all, why? You know that this dude works on a show, and you know they talk trash about and to each other on this show. Why would you even answer that question? Like, you are the most worstest friend ever to play your boy like that.
Yes. Clearly that's not your friend.
No, that's raggedy. I don't even know if I could watch the whole episode after that point, because I'm not a person who can watch somebody be humiliated on screen. I don't even like it when I'm watching a movie and something goes left for somebody. I just don't like it. It's like when you're watching a video of somebody who just falls on their ass and your own leg starts to tingle because you know they busted their tailbone. It's like I can't. But being able to watch it in that little tall rectangle on the Instagram feed or the Facebook, whatever it was, man, I about neared to die. It is, Sam. Oh man.
You know what? That reminds me of one more. Yes, it's the kind of show we have tonight.
Clearly.
Diddy Dick. What?
It's a commemoration.
No.
Preach yourself.
No. You know what though? That does, since you said you don't like to see people get took down, that does, I did have one more thing I wanted to share because this is hilarious. Because I'll be on the internet too much. Hang on.
Oh, yes.
Let's talk about your body, bitch. Lil Rascals, 3 niggas stacking body, bitch. So much fat around your knuckles, you can't crack 'em, body, bitch. You die ain't a big enough sheet to wrap your body, bitch. You absorb the energy after I slap your body, bitch. 400 pounds without the muscle, linebacker body, bitch. You was a book, you would've had 1,000 chapters, body, bitch. Pull out a plate during your verse, you distracted, body, bitch. How you active? You ain't even got an active body, bitch. Toxic waste body, bitch. Never race nobody, bitch. Told you get a shape, you said round is a shape, body, bitch. Friendsgiving, you was fiending for a plate, body, bitch. Man, the battlers were first, you had the weight, body, bitch. We feel you before you walk into the place, body, bitch. Vibrations you made feel like 808s, body, bitch. Crater in the bed in the spot that you lay, body, bitch. You on a belt that can't fit around your waist, body, bitch. Since you like Tay-Rock, let's talk about your...
Listen. He got so hot, he had to pull down the shiesty.
Yes, he's like, I'm not here.
Breathe. He needed to breathe.
Wow.
That was a dismantle. That was the They Not Like Us of an in-studio cypher battle.
Yes. And the fact that it could be coherent, funny, and just low down and all in with body bitch over and over again. That was talent.
Yes.
He was Mike Tysoning that dude into the dirt.
He said, you absorbed the energy, 400-pound body bitch.
I mean,
wow.
If you were a book, you have 1,000 chapters, body bitch.
Y'all want to see a dead body?
You put a plate out.
Body bitch.
You body bitch.
Damn.
I'm having
to me, Joy. I know somebody I need to send that to. She would die laughing.
Give it to you?
That.
Okay.
Yes. Oh my God.
Well, I don't know about the rest of you all. It's still light out here on the East Coast.
No, it's pitch black
on the West
right
Coast.
now.
I know it's dark out there, but I don't know if anybody has any special Juneteenth plans. If you want to sit in a circle and eat some gumbo and talk trash about tangerines, then that's fine. But I know what I am thankful for on this Juneteenth is what I'm thankful for every Thursday, which is for the support of the Sharpies who come and watch us. Our numbers are up this week. I would just like to say, if you care about the show and you're watching on YouTube, as you must be because we don't stream on that meta service anymore, like the show, subscribe to the show, ring the notification bell, and share. A single person, if everybody invited a single person to watch the show and we just kept growing week to week, that would be amazing. And we are here for it, and we are here for you, and we love doing this show. That's why we love having special guests. Yeah, we love having special guests. It's why we are still here. This is like, well, for me, kind of like a fourth job, but at least a second job. And, we come here every week unless it's absolutely impossible so that we can be here for you and provide a show. Go ahead, Joy.
This is a decompression zone. Like,
yep.
We do this show. We don't make $1 from it. As a matter of fact, it costs money to have this StreamYard all year. But we love doing this. It's great to see this family. Folks get together, bringing in new family, making new friends and everything, so we can all go, you see this bullshit, like together as a family, like y'all what's happening, and to talk to the Sharpies in real time, to have y'all come on, except for Chan who be faking. This is I would rather do this on a Thursday night than anything else, especially after that HOA meeting I went to.
Listen, and I want to give a shout out to Bob Breeden. Bob texted me offline on the show about the murders of the state representative and her husband in Minnesota. Thankfully, the two other persons who were attacked are still alive with us now. They're still in intensive care, but and they have captured that gunman. And despite the fact that Caroline Lyer tried to briefly spin that he was a Democrat, a leftist, that it didn't take very long for that to be undone. So we're praying for those families. Also, Mike Lee, senator from Utah, you are complete trash for the tweets that you posted, making jokes about those murders.
Right.
So I don't want to hear anything. I'd love to take the time to scrub through after that false flag Pennsylvania attack that left no marks on the sitting president, and see what your comments were about that.
Yeah.
Because for you to be tweeting what you tweeted, you and your staff deserve the shame and ignominy that you are getting, because you're horrible. You are a horrible, horrible person.
It's a lot of horrible people.
It is.
We're being run by horrible people. Horrible people, old people, cowards, and the powerless.
And that movie, Horrible Bosses.
Yes.
Horrible POTUS.
Yeah.
That's kind of where we are right now.
Yep.
So CJ, we've both given our little. Do you have anything that you'd like to share with the Sharpies about?
I just want to say thanks so much for being this place, like you said, this place to decompress and vent and get it out and have fun, and it's needed. It's truly needed. I've missed y'all for a while here, but it was funny last week when I was watching y'all. I was driving, so that's why some of my texts were like crazy. So anyway, but that's why I'm like, yeah, I'm coming back, because that would make sure I caught up on time. But I was glad to be on here with you all tonight. And yeah, keep doing what y'all doing. Thanks, Tom. Thanks, Joy. And thank Sharpies for continuing to
For still
support
being here.
Tom and Joy through all of this. You know, I don't know all that goes into putting this on, but I'm assuming it's a lot. And so with that, I just want to encourage other people to support you all. And I share when I can. And I have some friends who watch y'all. They don't ever show up on Thursday. They watch y'all after the fact.
That's fine.
But I just want to say thank you to you all. And thanks for letting me come hang out with y'all. Y'all just don't know I kind of needed this today. So thanks.
Absolutely.
I'm so glad that we were here for each other because it was so good to see your face and hear your voice, you know. And
Absolutely.
Fun fact, and this goes for all the Sharpies that are brave enough to come be on the show with us.
Come on, y'all.
This is a permanent link, meaning once you've been invited onto the show, you can come back whenever you
Hop
want.
on.
Come on, Chan.
Chan, looking at you. Ho to boo.
Pop on, pop off.
Bob,
so
you're welcome too.
That's right, Bob. Mike Bartlett.
Yeah.
You ever want to come on?
Marie,
hit me up, bro. So that being said, I'm Tom Cunningham.
I'm Joy Stevens.
I'm Cecily C.J. Jackson.
And this is Steel Sharpens Steel. All right, everybody.